As always, we're doing something gross and dirty on the car because it just seems to never end. About 8 months ago, I had a crack at repairing some of the rust spots that we had low on the body and on the back door of this car. I didn't really know what I was doing. I had some white Rust-Oleum paint and some primer, and that was about it. I didn't know anything about rust converters or POR 15 or anything like that. So I just had a crack at it, and over the last 8 months, the rust had started to come back through. So, as you guys know, we're going to paint the car from this line down, and we've chosen our paint, we've ordered it, it's been delivered. It's just a matter now to get the car prepped and ready to go to get this in. I bought myself a flappy disc for my grinder. This one is I think it's an 80 grit or a 40 grit, something like that. I'll tell you, 60 grit. And I've ground it back down, right the way down to the steel again. And then I grabbed a wire brush and I hit it with a wire brush, so that's taken away all of the rust, and it's actually created some really big holes in the side of the car that I'm now going to have to fill. Because this is going to be monster lined over, it's going to be like a bed liner. So it actually has a bit of a texture to it. So I'm not too worried about getting this back to completely smooth. So what I'm actually going to do is I've just run some rust converter over it, over the top of the rust converter when that's dry. I'm going to get some POR 15, I'm going to paint that over it. And where the bits are below this line, I'm going to leave that black POR 15 because the Monster Liner and the 2K primer that we bought from Monster Liner, Magnet Paints, actually will cover over the black POR 15. So the worst bit is definitely here under the fuel filler neck, and that's probably going to be a little bit of a trick for me to fill. The next worst bit is the passenger door here, where it kind of looks like Swiss cheese. It's pretty bad, but I've already had a go at bogging this, and where the bog is, it hasn't actually rusted through. So just cut it all the way back down to the metal and picked up the bits where it's Swiss cheese, and I've let them run the rust converter over the top of that. So I'm going to go, and I've left one piece to show you guys the process of what I'm doing, because you really don't want to watch me sand down and paint these little sections of the car. So here we go. New panels for this car are available. There's some US companies that make reproduction panels for the FJ60s and FJ62 Land Cruisers. This panel here, for just one of them, is about $600 though. It's not too bad a price, it's better than most cars, but we don't have that kind of cash to be throwing on this car right now, and we're going to be taking it off-road and through water and all those sorts of things, so it doesn't really make sense for us to be replacing this because it's actually not that bad. The only bad parts are here and down here on the back, where obviously like water and dust and salt was being kicked up onto the back part of this panel. So right now I'm going to attack this bit for you, and I'm going to use the floppy disk, and then I'm going to get the wire wheel, and then I'm going to get some rust converter, and I'm going to get that on there, and I'm just going to leave it to let it dry, and then on top of that I'm going to put some POR 15. So here we go. So this is just some rust converter. We'll leave a link in the description as to what rust converter we use, but it's pretty easy. You just slap it on and it cleans up off the pavement fine. I should know because I've spilled enough of it. And yeah, it just converts the rust to some sort of iron. We've used it all over the car and it's been great. So where the Monster line is going to go on, I'm thinking it's going to be fine.
Okay. Day 2 of body work on our car. Ben has been here fixing up all the holes in the car so we can prep for paint. So I'm going to take you guys on a little tour around the car with Ben so he can show you what he's done so far today.
I don't want to be uncomfortable today.
At least he's being safe. No dust in his face. I'm not very good at explaining what's going on because half the time I don't know the words of things. So maybe I'll just walk around and you guys can get the gist of what is happening.
So there was rust holes around the fuel filler.
Okay.
There was rust on the holes from the Land Cruiser badges.
There were holes up here in the window that we tried to fix one time, but it didn't work.
There was rust in the wheel wells here.
Let's keep on keeping on.
The whole bottom of the body was rusted out, so as you'll see in the previous video, check it out. I replaced all of this, and I'm currently just like reshaping the car.
Yep.
Both of the bottom parts of the doors were rusted out. There was a huge hole here, and this pretty much didn't exist before.
Still a work in progress, people. Just showing you what we've done so far.
This was a huge hole. Don't touch these, the paint just been painted. These were all rusty, so I've POR 15'd and sprayed these. This guy I still need to fill.
Right there.
Sophia just bought me some long hair fiberglass Bondo, and I don't know how to use it, clearly.
We'll get there.
I'll get there.
Slowly but surely.
I need to fill this bottom of the door still. This guy still needs a little bit of work, it's still a bit rough. Here. Again, more rust where the badges were. And this back door looks like a car crash. Because it was in a car crash.
It is a car crash. We bought some barn doors. Video coming soon for that, hopefully. If we ever get them here. And we will be replacing all of this.
Sophie and I want this car to last. It will look good. I'm guarantee you guys it'll look good in all the photos and all the videos that we take when we're on the road. But I just like it's going to be a rugged looking car more than a kind of like a super high end, resto mod kind of car. She's gonna take us around the country, maybe even more than one country, and I just want it to work versus look good. So it still look good. It's just not going to be as show car finish that you sometimes see. So that's my plan.
We're cheating.
I guess we're cheating.
We're cheating. Okay, originally we had told everyone here that we were going to fix the panels of our car that were rusted out with some metal of some sort, maybe from an old DVD player that's being thrown out or something like that. But the more we thought about it, the more daunting it seemed to do it properly, and we didn't want to make things worse. So we went online, and luckily we found some quarter panels. Is that what they would be called?
Yeah, I guess rear quarter panels.
Rear quarter panels that go on each back side of the car, and we just received them, and we don't know how big they are. We don't know how much they're going to cover, but we're fingers crossed that it's going to fit on the whole quarter of the car. Right?
Yeah, to
Yes?
push that out a little bit, we did replace most of the car with recycled metal. So
Yes.
we've done our best to shape up recycled pieces of metal and make them look nice, and they're going to be fine. I'm going to rust proof them, and it's kind of just being sustainable. We're using metal that already exists rather than buying plate metal from somewhere and me beating it up. The only reason that I've chosen not to do these ones is because the curves, I don't have a workshop or anything to beat any of the metal against, so I couldn't create the curves. So the only reason we've wussed out and I've bought these ones is because I couldn't create the curve. I could, but I don't have 6 months to do it in the backyard like the Flintstones. So we bought them. We bought them here,
And we're unboxing them for you.
Literally, because this is the first time we're seeing them too. So this cardboard's pretty uneventful. It's like a huge box with more in. Oh man, it's really heavy.
And here we go. Here we go. We're going to paint them. This is my mother.
Sorry, I was curious. The parts of the
So
car.
these we're gonna
wow.
put in the back.
Bye-bye.
Pretty cool. We're gonna paint them green, so it's okay that they don't match the color of the car right now, because they will. And yeah, they came with a good amount, but I think that we're still gonna be missing this.
Yeah,
I think that
they're
doesn't
still not
go.
like super smooth. Like,
Is this upside down? Is it like this? Or is it like this?
that's on that side of the car. That's on the side of the car. I don't know.
I
It still looks like a lot of work to me.
Better
but
than what we had before.
yeah, it doesn't really help me, honestly.
It's a fail. Did we just
Whatever.
waste some money?
A little bit of a fail. We still got a lot of work to do. Everybody.
It was never not going to be work. I mean,
But I still have to create all of this.
yeah.
So ideally, what I thought I was getting was more of the corner here, because this is the part that's really hard to create. Oh well. Looks like I'll be fiberglassing everything.
This is it.
I mean, I could have done
This
this
is
part.
still better.
I guess.